Of the High Stakes Fantasy Network podcast. This is another live stream of an NFBC Cutline Championship draft. These are 10 teams, 42 rounds, best ball scoring, kind of hybrid best ball because you have two fab periods, but a $70,000 grand prize. That's the main thing. $70,000 grand prize. I'm Greg Ambrosius. I'm your host. And look who we have here right now. It's Geoff Stein, our newest hire at the NFBC. Geoff, how you doing tonight?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's been, I was just telling you before we signed on, a busy night already. People are thinking baseball. The first game was on television today. I think that has people hyped up. It was nice to see actual highlights and not people, well, I guess people were talking about the pants all day. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing that on the first spring training game of the year, people are talking about the pants they're wearing and not the guys that are playing.
Talking about pants is not good. Trust me, it's not good. So, but yeah, we've got another draft tonight, 11:30. RotoWire Online Championship is still available. 5 spots left. That's a Beat Jason Anthony one. It's going to be live stream on ftnfantasy.com. So get in there, check that one out. But Geoff, you've been with us about 3 weeks now. It's been a whirlwind, that's for sure. But how's your time been with the NFBC and watching drafts at night?
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm sure a good chunk of people remember me from back in the day, working at Mock Draft Central with you guys, even though you and Tom didn't remember that.
I can't remember working with you. I really can't.
Back at Mock Draft Central many years. So I got to know the community some there. And then obviously our 1 year together officially when we were at the official company and the old fan ball in St. Louis there.
Yep.
But it's been great to be back. I honestly miss the community. And heck, I've been an NFBC player for most of the years I've been gone. Main events, draft champions. I was always partial to the 15-team leagues. I know we're about getting ready to do the 10-team thing. So I've stuck around the community and such, but it's been nothing. Being around as a drafter is nothing like I've dealt with as an employee again over the last 3 weeks, but it's been wonderful, and I'm happy to be back. It's been excellent. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been great having you for sure. You've been watching a lot of late nights, which is what we need. You're the perfect Swiss Army knife that we need right now. So fabulous to have you on board. So you've been watching a lot of draft results. I'm going to have you take a look at our ADPs as we talk about the Cutline Championship tonight. But, we did this last night with Tom, and I agree. I want to say one thing. People were not talking about baseball much. It has been the slowest offseason, I think. We've got all these free agents like Bellinger and Snell still not signed yet and such. So to see a little baseball today, to see that reliever for the Padres just strike out the side, right? I mean, now you got people talking about baseball again. So hopefully things pick up. And this weekend, we should be seeing games all weekend long on TV, right?
Yeah. Rough day for the Joe Musgrove drafters. I don't know who I'd rather have, Musgrove or Senga right now. The guy that gave up 8 runs or however many it was with the guy with the shoulder injury.
You don't want the guy with the shoulder injury, trust me.
But now you get Musgrove. He gets that first game against the Dodgers in Korea there. So I'm guessing a lot of people might not have him in the week 1 lineups with that first look.
Yeah, it's interesting, but that's what it does, right? You get one look like, I'm off him. I don't know. Something's wrong with him. He's not throwing well. So, but it's early in the season, and it's good to see some spring training games. These two teams, like you say, are going to be playing in Korea, South Korea, in what is it, March 20th and 21st, right? 20th and 21st. So, all right, let's get to the cut line tonight. This is a fun format. Again, the scoring system is point scoring. I'll just give it to you right here. A home run is actually worth 13 points. Stolen bases are worth 5. Runs are worth 2. Every at bat is -1. A hit is 4 points. And a run batted in is 2 points, if you will. Pitching, saves are worth 8. Wins are worth 6. Strikeouts is worth 1. -1 for a walk. -2 for earned run. -1 for a hit. And 3 points for every inning pitched. So that's the scoring system in here, and it's a lot of fun. And I mean, these go fast. And of course, Acuna goes first overall. Geoff, we've seen some auctions. Tom and I have been talking about it. $71 for him. We've never seen anything like that in the NFBC.
And I think I set the over/under. Are we going to see a 75? I think we may. I know you said that's a record high for in an NFBC draft. I kind of think you're going to see these battles break out here, and people are just going to throw caution to the wind. They're going to want an Acuna share at some point, and
Yep.
I think that's when you're going to see a 75 happen.
Yeah, that's when we're seeing on Twitter. I haven't gotten a number one pick in 14 drafts or 12 drafts. Hey, guess what? You got a 1 in 15 chance every time, or a 1 in 12 chance, or in this case, a 1 in 10 chance. All right, here's the first round. Again, power is great in this scoring format. All right, a home run can be 13 points when you get the hit, the RBI, the run scored, all of that put together. So Julio Rodriguez goes number 2, Bobby Witt goes 3, Mookie Betts, he went number 2 last night, he goes 4 here, and Juan Soto goes number 5. Again, the walks help out a little bit. On base helps a little bit more in this one. Corbin Carroll, get yourself 50 steals, nothing wrong there. Here's Freddie Freeman. He went 3rd last night, I believe, and he went 7th here right now. So Jeff Soto and Freeman, good on base percentage. These guys are going to score a lot of runs. They're going to get hits. They're going to have walks. It all adds up in this format, right?
I think you nailed it. The on base percentage, the walks. Soto, he walks a ton, and he's going to walk a ton in New York with all those big guys around him. I think
Yep.
so. Yeah, he's amazing in this format. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go at 2 in a couple of these with people getting excited.
Yep.
Betts, he's in the number 2 in the ADP right now over the last 2 weeks. I think it's the multi-position eligibility. I know
Yep.
you and Tom talked about his second second base status last night. And I think that's it, because this is best ball. So he can slide in as a second base. He can slide in as an outfielder. That's extremely valuable when you're having someone that puts up the numbers he does.
Yep, absolutely. He's like a cheat code, I think, at second base because second base is pretty weak this year. All right, there you got Judge at 8. I think Judge is great in this format. If he can play 140 plus games, 150 games, he'll be a top 3 in this scoring format. Yordan Alvarez, another guy, if he can stay healthy, if he can play 140 plus, he goes in the top 10. Tatis at 10 rounds out the first round. And look at this. This is how it goes, man. We're 2 minutes in and we're like 14 picks in already. People know who they want. These things fly off the board. Shohei Ohtani at number 11 and Matt Olson. Again, you're seeing the power hitters, Jeff, in this scoring format. You're not going to see starting pitchers right away. And last night, the relief pitchers, I think they went like in the 8th round last night.
Yeah. I mean, this is again. I know you said you sat down with KJ Duke and Todd to put together the whole format. How long ago was that now?
This is our 7th or 8th year. And the funny thing is, when we were at Stats, I really loved this format. And they just wouldn't program it. It took a long time for them to get there. So when we came to over here with Fanball, then they were able to program it for us. So I think this has been like 2017 or 2018 we started this format.
Yeah. So I mean, I know you guys did your best to make relievers and closers valuable to give them some
Yep.
value, but it just doesn't have the same roto impact. It seems.
Yeah. Well, 2 things. One, 10-team leagues, everyone's going to get a couple of closers here. And the second thing is, some people really like closers in this format. I actually like them in this format. You get 3 or 4 saves during the week and you're getting 20 plus points, where you may have a starting pitcher who doesn't have a good outing, doesn't get a win. He may not get you many points. So I think having closers is pretty good, but some people shy away from them completely. Some really load up on the strikeout pitchers. Obviously, strikeout pitchers who go deep in games are very valuable here. But we'll watch this. We'll start seeing some of the pitchers going off in round 3 here, I think. So round 2, cruising along pretty good here. As you can see, our big sticker, we got Kyle Tucker, Austin Riley, Bryce Harper, and here we go, Spencer Strider, the first one going off at pick number 19. And Jeff, I think he's obvious. Cole could go up there with him, but Strider with the strikeouts seems to be the natural number 1 pitcher, not only in this format, but in Roto as well.
Oh, no doubt. He's been the number 14 overall player in the past 2 weeks in this format. So that's
Yep.
something that this person got a pretty good deal here, I think. Again, I think he may be that far ahead of everyone else when you consider this how valuable the strikeouts are in this format. Cole's a great pitcher. He plays on a great team, but he's not striking people out the way he used to.
Yeah.
Burns, I think you might see him strike out some more guys. But Strider, he's just a monster. And then you see these highlights of him working on a curveball in spring training. If he has that third pitch, I mean, we might not have seen his ceiling yet. This might be he might be that much ahead of everyone if he has that third pitch and he can use it successfully at all.
Yeah, if he's got a curveball, that'll buckle some knees, that's for sure, because they'll be waiting for the fastball and not realize what's coming there. So it should be interesting. But yeah, some of the people on the cut line, they like to double up. Once they get Strider, they'll take another starting pitcher pretty high as well and roll the dice that way. But start out with Rodriguez and Strider. Good start there. I always like team one. Again, come around here, you got the 20th and 21st pick. It's almost it's not fair, which is why we use third round reversal in football. We don't do it in baseball, obviously. But man, Alonso, Semien, and Acuna, that's a pretty nice start.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You got your power, you got your
Yeah,
steals, you got your at bats. Semyon, I mean, he's one of those guys year in and year out. I say, oh, he can't put up that number of at bats again, and he just stays healthy. He's at the top of the lineup, and next thing you know, you're getting your 650 at bats from him, and that's incredibly valuable,
yeah.
especially in this format. I think at bats are key here.
Hmm.
Obviously, the more at bats, the more chances you have to score the points. Especially, I want guys at the top of the order in this
Right,
format, and
right.
he's a guy that's going to be at the top of the order in one of the better lineups in baseball, the World
Yeah.
Series champions.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. In fact, even in the auction league the other night that we did with Tom and other NFBC guys, I was trying to get leadoff hitters or number two hitters. Before we went into the auction, I was going through everybody's lineup, and I'm like, even Rengifo is going to be leading off. I'm like, I'm going to target him as well. I want as many at bats as possible. I mean, that's the easy strategy, of course, but I was definitely targeting guys at the top of the order, and I'm sure everyone else does too. But it was top of mind with me.
Yep, yeah. And again, we've seen Kyle Tucker go a little later than ADP. I think he's one of those guys that he's with Dusty gone. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the 2-hole this year, maybe
Yeah,
even the 3-hole when he was 5-6 a lot last year. So that's an incredible difference in this format, if you're asking me. So he's a guy where you see Team 7 got him in the second round.
yeah.
I really like that pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And he got Freeman at pick 7 in the first round. Again, he went third last night. So, hey, there's your guy, Ellie De La Cruz. What do you like about him this year?
I just like watching that guy play. And I heard a clip from the RotoWire radio show today where they say that guy could be a top 5 player or he could be a AAA in May. And I think
Yep.
that nails it. But we had our auction league the other night, and it's my one league. I did 30 fantasy baseball. I was a customer this time last year. I was crazy, getting all my leagues, and we did our one on what night was that? Tuesday. And I said, you
Yep.
know what? I want guys I like to watch play. I love to sit down and watch baseball. I like to sit down and watch my guys play. That's my guy this year. You can't beat. I mean, he hits the ball far. He's
Yep.
one of the fastest runners in baseball, sprint speed. He throws the ball across
Yep.
the infield as hard as anyone. The ultimate upside pick. Like I said, he could be top 5. He could be a complete bust. But man, it's sure going to be fun watching whatever happens. If he's good, it's going to be amazing. If he's struggling, there's even a little fun to watching that happen. But he's young. He's got all the talent in the world. The major leagues obviously made their first adjustment to him,
Yep.
in the second half of last year.
Yep.
I think he's talented enough where it's his turn to make the adjustments, and I think he's going to do really well this year.
Yeah, it's interesting because they got him kind of low in the lineup. It'll be interesting to see where he bats. He's got less value if he's 7th or 8th, but if he hits the ball, they'll start moving him on up, obviously. So,
I think he'll be a little higher up to start the year, but again, you're right. They knocked him down the
yeah,
last couple of months last year. If he's batting down in the order again,
yeah,
yeah, a lot less value, especially in a format like this, like we just talked about. You want guys higher up.
right.
But I'm buying in. He's good for the game. Cincinnati having a good baseball team is good for the game. I know you being a Brewers fan, that's not a popular thing
That's
to say,
okay.
but
Yeah.
that's a baseball town. I I really like that young talent they have there, and I hope he does well.
Yep. All right. Well, you're going to like Team 7. You like this Freeman Tucker. You got De La Cruz. I kind of like Burns. That's a good pick right there as well. So we're keeping an eye on Team 7. Team 8, he jumped William Contreras. I mean, that's 28 that he went overall, but he's got his catcher that he wanted. So he's got the power with Judge. He's got some speed with Turner. He's got some all around with Altuve, but he's got his catcher, William Contreras, at
Yeah, I think
28.
we've seen the same thing happen last night. He went in a similar spot. So
Really?
yeah. Again, but again, we're talking how many catchers are hitting up in the
Right.
batting order?
Right.
Not many. That's usually the guy hitting 8th or 9th. So maybe that's what the value people see. I'm looking again at the ADP the last 2 weeks, 38th. So not too
Really?
far off.
Okay.
But 10 picks a whole round. But I don't think it's crazy. Again, I think there's value in these catchers that can get you points in this format.
Yeah, where's that Rutschman going on our ADPs that you got there?
He's 35, so he was
Okay.
3 picks ahead of Contreras. So right about where he went
Yeah.
here, almost
Right.
almost on it to a T.
Yeah, definitely. I went at pick 35, so pretty cool. So in all the leagues that you did with us in past years, did you ever do a cut line or not?
No cut lines. I was always a 15 team
Yep.
snob. I even a 12 was too many, and we have the Champion League format
Yeah.
that's obviously been amazing so far. What did we get to sign up today? 155, something
Yeah,
like
we're
that.
at 153 or 4, I think, actually.
153,
Yeah.
154. But I've seen a lot of people say, again, us 15 team snobs saying I
Yep.
haven't played a roto wire in years.
Yep.
And that's just how I was. Once you do these 15s, everything seems like an all-star team to me. And I just my specialty was always finding, and I say specialty loosely with how my results were in a lot of leagues, but I always like finding those dark horses, those unknown guys.
Yeah.
I had Strider a couple of years ago when he was, when he broke out and was going in the 45th rounds of
Yeah.
DCs. That's always what I like. That's always what I was good at. These ones here with a 10-teamer, that's just I could never figure it out. Every team seemed great to me. I
Of
didn't.
course.
Yeah, I had a hard time finding an edge in that. And again, I use
Yeah.
the term edge
Yeah.
real loosely, but just wasn't for me.
This is our feel-good draft. Everybody feels good after they leave here. Everyone's got a good team and such. No, I got to tell you, I signed up a couple of guys today who called up and said, I have never done a 12 team. I have no interest in a 12 team, but I want to be a part of this. I mean, I can tell you, I know it's Nick Cassavetes, who's been with us for 20 years, great director, actor. He's like, throw me in that. That sounds like a lot of fun, but I've never really done a 12 teamer before. Kelly Ugansky jumped in today, doesn't like 12 teamers, but wants to be part of it. So I love it because you're just exposing people to different formats that we offer. There's different strategies, and you've got to excel in all three strategies, right? The draft and hold, 15 team, 50 rounds. You got the main event, and then you got the 12 teams, 30 rounds. So you got to excel in all three to finish in the top 15 to get into the finals next year. So I love it. Check it out, everybody. It's the debut Champions League Qualifier Championship, and it's taken off. It's fabulous. I mean, think about it. We've got, I think, 470 main event signups, and 153 or 154 are in the Champions League. That's a pretty good ratio right there. I don't think anybody thought we'd have 1/3, if you will, or 1/4 of all the main event participants. If that happens, we could have 200 plus in the Champions League. So pretty cool. So
And before March, even to say
yeah,
we'd have this many before March, I think we'd have been doing cartwheels if we had this number when we're in Vegas, let alone
yeah.
before March 1st.
Yeah, no, this has been fabulous, and we have a tracking system that shows this year compared to last year, and all of the cut, everything's up. I mean, it's been fabulous, and like I said, it's been a boring off season for baseball. I mean, football just stole the spotlight, and now you got the combine coming around the corner. So,
I mean,
uh,
and this last week, no NBA. The NBA was just
yeah,
off for a week.
yeah,
The NASCAR race got rained out on
yeah,
Sunday. This should have been baseball's time to shine. Everyone talking about, I mean, obviously the Otani thing, but people are talking about Otani. They're showing his shirt, showing through his pants. That's why people are talking about Otani. Major League Baseball just cannot get out of their own way with all this. It's insane.
I don't know how you can screw up uniforms. I mean, come on, they've been made forever. I don't know how you can screw them up. You're with Nike. How can Nike screw them up, huh? My goodness.
Again, I don't get it. The uniforms, the free agents that still aren't signing.
Yeah,
You got your owner in Milwaukee. You got Reinsdorf in Chicago and Arizona talking about new stadiums or we're
yep,
leaving. What?
yep.
How tone deaf can these guys be? They're
Uh,
not selling the sport. They're not bringing in new people. They're alienating people.
yep.
It's
And yet
crazy to me.
fans are still here and people are still drafting and we can hardly wait for the season to start. I'm
Oh,
with you.
I've never been more excited
I
for a
know.
season to start. And here we are. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Just imagine if we were getting positive vibes,
Well,
positive news.
we're going to get them starting this week. I think we're going to start seeing some more baseball on the tube and such like that, working out. So, here's one of them, Bellinger. He goes off at 45. He was a guy I target. I didn't target in our auction league, but I got him for $17. If he was signed right now, he definitely would go higher than that, I think. But do you think he goes to the Cubs? I mean, there's really nobody bidding for him at this point.
Boy, that it seems like a big staring match between the Cubs and
Yeah,
Scott Boras, and again, it seems like that with all these guys.
yeah,
The market's just not there. And I think when you have the Red Sox not spending, when you have the Mets not spending, the Angels not spending, these big market teams that,
Yeah.
have spent in the past, but are kind of, I don't want to use the term rebuild, but it seems like that's what's going on there. I don't, obviously the Mets with their injuries and they hit the reset button. But when you get these big teams like this not spending, and Boris doesn't have that leverage that he can create, and you have basically the Cubs sitting there saying, okay, we'd love to have you back, but
Yep.
we're not going to bid against ourselves. And
Yep.
here we are.
Yep, absolutely. All right, looking at a couple roster builds here. I like team 2. Again, I've seen people take Strider and then double up with another ace if they can. There's Strider and Wheeler.
I love
Look at
that.
team 7. Come on, that's your team 7. He's killing it right now. Comes back with Luis Castillo in round 5. I like him an awful lot. In fact, he's my ace on our auction team as well. And then Tyler Glass now. Tom and I talked about him last night. How many innings this year you think for Glass now?
Yeah, again, this to me, this comes like we were talking about. You want at bats. Well, you want innings pitched. 140 maybe. I don't know how the Dodgers are going to work all this. They have a lot of guys, and at some point Buehler's going to be back. They have the young guys that they're going to have to manage. He's going to be great while he's out there. You're going to get the strikeouts. You're going to get the wins. There's not going to be a lot of runs scored against him. But, I want the more of the horses. And, you see the guy with Pablo Lopez and Zach Gallen. There's 2 guys that are going to get you 200 innings. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys I like in this format. And this is me just shooting off the cuff. I could be totally wrong. I'm not an expert at this at all. But if I'm going in, I want the 200 inning guys. I want the leadoff hitters. Yeah. So, again, I love Scooble. I drafted him the other night in our auction league.
Yep.
Go Tigers. But again, I kind of worry how many innings he's going to give you. Kirby, there's a guy, he's not going to get you the strikeout numbers of some of these other guys, but I think he's going to get you a lot more innings. So I see that Strider Wheeler team, and that's something I really, really like. Even Gossman, Kirby, these horses are going to get you the innings while they might not get you as many strikeouts, which we want in Roto. I want the guys that are going to give you 200 innings in this format.
Yeah, I like Kirby an awful lot. He doesn't go as high in this format because he's not quite the strikeout pitcher, but boy, he's got excellent control. He hardly ever walks anybody. For Roto 5x5, that's who I was targeting the other night. I think he went for 30. I did not get him. He went above Castillo. I ended up with Castillo, but because in this format, Castillo definitely goes about a round ahead of him, and rightfully so because of the strikeouts and such. So, all right, so you are all over the Tigers and our auction. What's your prediction for the Tigers this year? And be realistic here, would you?
I think it's going to be a little better than years past. It's been pretty painful here. Looking back at that 2012 team and that whole run, where they had 4 Cy Young Award winners. I think this is going to be one of the teams that 50 years from now, people are going to say they got a Triple Crown winner, 4 Cy Young Award winners. I don't know, not to mention guys like Victor Martinez, Prince Fielder, JD Martinez, Justin Upton, all these, great players.
Yeah.
How didn't they win one World Series championship? And it comes down to their bullpen and stuff. But going forward this year, the young guys, I still think their offense is going to struggle some. I like Torkelson. I think Green's going to come into his own this year. And, they have the young guys, the Henry Malloy guy. The Colt Keith is one that's going to have second base, third base eligibility for our game here once he gets 10 games at second base. So I think it's another rebuilding year. I don't want to say rebuilding. They're going to be better. But, again, the young pitchers are coming back. Mize will be back. I don't think they're going to push them too much. I don't think they're going to push Scooble too much, knowing that, this is, I don't want to say a lost year, but not a year where you want to go all in with your young arms. And they have depth there, too. They have the Maedas and the Flahertys of the world where I think, maybe All-Star break, they deal those guys for, they're on short-term deals. Maybe they can get some a valuable piece for the future for them. So I'm thinking it's going to be a lot better, but yeah, when I said sleeper World Series team in the chat with Tom and yourself last night, that I might have been messing around a little much there.
Might have been drinking, actually. Hey, let's take a look at 2 teams here, Team 1 and Team 4. They don't even have a starting pitcher or any pitcher at this point. Again, 42 rounds. You got plenty of time to get that. You want to get your boppers, I think, in this format. You can load up on pitchers later. It's not like the Roto categories, but Team 1 and Team 4 loading up on outfielders, loading up on power. Team 5 took their first starting pitcher in round 7. So again, very unique format with 10 teams. There's plenty of pitchers out there yet, for sure.
Yeah, again, here's O'Neal Cruz. We go back. O'Neal Cruz, Ellie De La Cruz. You can't talk about similar players, similar builds.
Yeah.
They hit the heck out of the baseball. I think O'Neill Cruz has the hardest hit baseball of Statcast era.
Mm.
Uh, and again, you know, speed and whips it across. I'm a little worried about him coming back from that pretty severe leg injury he had. But honestly, when we went to our auction the other night, I wanted to mix those two together. So I'm loving Team Seven right now because that's going to be an exciting team to watch with those two guys.
Hey, O'Neill Cruz was great that first month of the season. Obviously, he got hurt, but man, he was the talk early on. So yeah, if he can come back from the injury, I think there's a lot to like there for sure. So what are you seeing at these late night drafts that you've been watching? They kind of fill at the last minute. I know people panic when they're like, "Oh, there's 4 spots left. I don't know," or whatever. But these things, people are waiting around, right? And when they see that we get close, people jump in and fill those babies up.
It's like clockwork. We'll have like 4 spots left, and all of a sudden we'll get two signups, and 5 people will try and get the last 2 spots.
Yeah.
And I always hate saying sorry you didn't get in there, and it's basically rush to your computer, rush on your phone to get that last spot. So yeah, if you ever look in our lobby, our chat lobby, there's a list of people that are there, and a lot of those people are sitting there watching. Hey, is this draft going to fill? And I understand. I totally get it. I was the same way when I was a customer. Like you don't want to commit.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have some money on your account, it doesn't matter. But when you got to deposit and all that, and you say, well, I don't want to go through that hassle if it's not
Yeah.
going to fill. I don't blame anyone for sitting back and waiting. But for the most part, if it's getting close, it's filling. We lost a couple early this week that I thought we were going to fill up, but those are afternoon drafts. I think it was a Monday afternoon draft
Right.
that got to 8 of 12 and we lost. Those are the painful ones. I hate when that happens. But the nighttime drafts, if it's been getting close, they've been filling, and I think it's kind of what we've been talking about. People starting to get baseball fever.
Yeah.
Again, though, the NBA's back tonight. You mentioned the combine next week. But hey, it's baseball season, and I know we got a group of diehards that think the same way. So I think we're gonna see drafts filling more and more. We're gonna do 2 RotoWires tonight in addition to this cut line. We did 2 RotoWires last night. I think that's gonna be the norm going forward until we get to opening day.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I got to ask you. So, have you ever been to one of our live events? You didn't work with
I,
us at the live event in Las Vegas in 2010, did you?
I did not know
Okay.
that someone had to stay back and man the fort,
Yeah.
the online fort. And that was me doing the online draft. As funny as it sounds, back in my mock draft central days, I went to the Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont and worked the live event in Chicago.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I remember meeting George Kleeman, who was a great guy.
Yep.
That's one that sticks out to me. And there's a couple other guys there that
Yep.
real good people. So that's the only live event I've been to, and I know they've changed a lot since then. That had to be, gosh, 2006, 2007. Me and my buddies took the train into town and got a cool $100 each for doing those drafts, doing the
Yep.
stickers.
Yep.
Went and got a good deep dish pizza, hopped back on the train, and went to the casino in Michigan City, Indiana. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was a little better looking back then, a few less wrinkles, all
You're a
that stuff.
little
But
20-something kid, that's why.
yeah. I think I was still in college even then.
Yeah.
But, so that was the only live event I've been to. But I've been incredibly jealous over the years, and I wanted to come out as a player, but it just never worked out right timing wise.
Yeah.
But it was always my goal to make it out as a player. But now I'm very much looking forward to getting out there and 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm
4
counting down the
weeks.
days.
4 weeks. Yep, we're gonna be
4
out there
weeks.
4 weeks. Yep,
Wow.
believe it or not, and you're gonna love it. Everything's electronic. We got the HD projectors. One person doing it on the iPad, basically. It's fabulous. You're gonna love it, and we're working on our 8th league already for the main event in the Grand Ballroom. It's a 40,000 square foot ballroom. 8 leagues going at once. It's going to be a blast on Saturday, March 23rd. So come on out there, meet Jeff, and you're going to love it for sure. All right, we'll do this for a couple more rounds. Let me just reduce the board here so we can see a few more rounds. I always like that better than scrolling up, but we're starting to see some builds here. We're starting to see some starting pitchers going now in the 8th round. We haven't seen a reliever go at all right now. I think this is when Edwin Diaz and Hader went last night in round 8, but we have not seen a single relief pitcher here. So again, interesting builds. Team 4 finally took his first starting pitcher, and he's got Aaron Nola. Nothing wrong with that. Let's
Yeah,
see team
again,
one,
if
right?
innings pitched are what we want, that guy's a horse.
Yeah,
All these guys here. I like Logan Webb. I like Freed. Excuse me. Peralta, man, yeah, that's a guy I heard you and Tom talking about him. Fastball Freddy last night. That's a guy that it just looks like his shoulder is going to fly off his arm every time he winds back there to throw the baseball. His slight build.
yep,
I was off him last year, and he was amazing where he went. I think he was like a 10th, 11th round
yeah,
pick in Roto draft in the 15 teamers.
yep.
And he put up a great season. What a valuable pick he was. So I was wrong. I was wrong then, and I'm doubling down. I just don't see it with him. He scares me with his slight build and how hard he throws it. But I mean, you can't argue with the results.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he just nibbles too much. I mean, he's always going 3-2 on the count, and that's why if he has arm troubles, it's because he's throwing too many pitches. Just throw strikes, and I think that would be easier. But yeah, he's tough to watch sometimes. But he's got a great arm, and he's their ace this year. Woodruff is gone; he's out for the year, and Burns is in Baltimore. So team one, not only doubling down, but going heavy into power. Ozuna and Casas, you gotta like that. But he's going to need pitchers at some point, but team one, putting the offense together, right?
I like it. What was it back in the day? The Lima plan and
Yeah.
the where you just did all $1
$1
pitchers.
pitchers.
This is
Yep.
this is the Lima plan of
Of
the
the
cut
cut
line,
line.
I guess.
Absolutely. Jordan Walker. I like Jordan Walker. He was one I really targeted the other night. Uh, I just think this guy, when you see him in person physically, this guy's 6'6". He's just huge, beautiful swing, can go to all fields. Love Jordan Walker. I think this is going to be a great breakout year for him. And there we got Josh Hader, pick 86, and Edwin
And then
Diaz,
here they
87.
come.
There we go. A little later than last night, but good value, I guess, for the closers. Again, they add up. Saves are 8 points, so don't shy away from them. They're valuable. Trust me. Team 7, you've liked him, but man, he's loading up on the pitchers right here now.
Yeah. Real quick on Walker too. It's just something that sticks out to me is remember his helium at this time last year.
Oh
He was a
yeah,
guy that in DC season draft Champions League, he's going mid-teen rounds, but I think by the main event, he was a 4th or 5th round pick. He was the hot the hot thing last year at this time. People couldn't get enough of him, and now he didn't have a bad season by any stretch of the imagination, but he just didn't do what people thought he was going to. And now look where he's going. He definitely fits that. I mean, he's still going early. Don't get me wrong, but he definitely fits that post-hype mold to me.
trust me, I know where his hype came from. We were at Labor last year. All of us went to the auction after the NL, or went to a ball game with the Cardinals. He hit one out of the park. I'm not kidding you. He hit one out of the park. I think he
He's a
had 2
big
home
dude.
runs that day, and Sean and I had gotten him for like $15 or something the night before. But everybody was raving about him. He had a double to right field. It was just one of the most impressive spring training games I'd seen. But the dude was good. But you're right. The Cardinals didn't trust him enough, if you will, or whatever. I think they even sent him down, didn't they, or something?
I
But
think at one point they did. Yeah.
yeah, no, but he came back. He was better in the second half. But no, I think he's got a chance this year for sure. So, all right, we're starting to fill in here. We'll just get through this next round, round 10. But again, these are 42 rounds. Check them out at playnfbc.com. Playnfbc.com. Look for the Cutline Championship. $175 entry fee. It's kind of like a lottery ticket. First place is $350 in your league. Top 2 go into the playoffs, and then it's a survivor format after the All-Star break. 3 weeks we cut down, 3 weeks we cut down, and guess what? There's 20 teams left at the final table going for all the prize money, basically. It's a great, great format. Best ball scoring as well. Next week, we want to do a live stream with the RotoWire Online Championship, maybe Tuesday night. Looks like a good night to do that, so could have fun doing that. But Jeff, good to introduce you to our audience, and thanks for joining us tonight. And any words of advice you got for our guys?
Real quick, 5 spots left in the 11:30 RotoWire Online Championship. Our friends at FTN, that's the Beat Jason Anthony League. I know Vlad Sedler and crew are going to be doing a broadcast of that. So if you want to watch the broadcast, if you haven't got enough with Greg and I, watch that broadcast. But please hop in there if you can to that draft. I think we'll definitely fill that. Just want to say it's great to be back. It's been a whirlwind month, crazy February. And I think March is looking to be even crazier with more drafts and my first live draft experience. I'm very much looking forward to it. I very much loved hearing from the NFBC, NFFC community again here. And, thank you guys for being so kind to me and welcoming me back.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's been great. There's no doubt it's been a whirlwind. We didn't expect to be working together, that's for sure. But the day I called you up, you thought I was just calling you about getting you in the main event or something like that,
I did.
trying to get some more money out of you. And instead, we just started talking, and our situations worked out perfectly. So it's great to have you back. And Tom and I know you from before, and you fit in perfectly with this community. But Jeff will be out in Las Vegas on Wednesday, the 20th, I believe, and he's staying
Correct.
through the ball games on the 28th. We're going to be watching baseball all day at the Mirage Sportsbook, so you'll have plenty of time to buy him some beers. I don't know if he drinks Coronas like I do. Tom doesn't like Coronas like I do, but Jeff, I think you drink anything cold, don't you?
That's correct. Anything bought is fine with me.
So we're going to have a good fun. So, all right. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We've had back-to-back nights of selling out the Cutline Championship. Look for a newsletter tomorrow morning. We've got a weekend promo code that you're going to like as well. So check that out. But thanks everyone. Thanks, Jeff. And good luck in all your drafts going forward, everyone. Good night.